I'm Captain Lamech of the Service Assembly, coming at you with another exhortation lesson called You Can Deceive Some of the People some of the time, but you can't deceive the Most High none of the time. So the first precept I'm going to get is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 11, right? It says, Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another, right? So the Most High says that you should not steal, neither deal falsely, right? So if you have an issue, or if you have, for lack of better words, right? Because only you and the Most High have the understanding on what the truth is and what a lie is, right? So you want to make sure that when you're dealing with brothers and when you're dealing with Israel in general, that you're truthful all the time with brothers and that you're straight up and honest with brothers, right? And you don't want to deal falsely with them, right? Because you deal falsely with a brother, that's like saying one thing on one message and then saying something totally different on another message, to confuse the situation, right? And then now things are thrown out of whack, especially in the organization, a brotherhood, a sisterhood. You want to make sure that you're on the up and up with everybody, right? Because what we're doing, we're getting rid of that old man. That old man that we used to have, that thing is gone, right? We're going to get into that a little bit later, right? It says, neither rob him, Salaki. It says, and ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of Yahweh. I am the Lord, right? So with that, let's go to the book of Proverbs 12 and 19. Right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 19. It says, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is for a moment, right? So the truth will always last forever. The truth don't need no help, right? As far as this truth, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, us being Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Repentance of Israel, who did Yahweh Shai come for? All those different things is the truth. So it doesn't need any help. Right? Us that get out and teach the word, we're not forcing the word on nobody. We're just reading the book, and the words itself is what's condemning the people. Because the word is truth. The word of the law is truth. The word of the Most High is truth, wisdom, and understanding. So just reading it is enough to cause lashes and lacerations on the wicked, right? So the truth doesn't need any help, but a lie is just for a moment, right? So you may be able to get away with that thing the first time. You may say that you really want to do one thing, but then you really want to do something else, right? But eventually it's going to show in your works. It's going to show in your character that that's not what you really wanted to do in the first place, right? And those things leave a bad name on you. Those things leave a stain on you. So you want to always abstain from telling lies, telling fibs. You want to always make sure that you're dealing truthful, even if it hurts the person. Sometimes you may tell somebody something and it hurts. Oh well, right? But the Most High said, we read it one more time, the book of Proverbs 12 and verse 19. It says, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Right? It's just for a moment. That's just to get by for that one time. Verse 20, it says, deceit is in the heart. We know the heart is the mind. So deceit is in the mind of them that imagine evil. But to the counselors of peace is joy. So it says deceit is in the mind of them that imagine evil. So if you imagine, or you're trying to think of how to deceive somebody into thinking one way when you're actually thinking another way, that mind itself will let me read that again. It says that mind will imagine evil. So you imagine the evil. If you're trying to figure out how to deceive a brother or deceive a sister, that's evil. That's evil. You have to make sure that your true mind and what you're really thinking is being put out there, because those deceptions can go from one person to another person and just throw a lot of things out of whack, and it leaves no place for truth, right? So from that, let's get the book of Colossians 3 and 9. All right, this is the book of Colossians chapter 3, and I'm starting at verse 9. It says, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, right? Because we all used to be liars, cheats, telling deceitful stories. In the hood, you might say something and which could get somebody killed. You may lie, you may be a talebearer, you may tell, you may be just a habitual liar, man, right? But in this truth, there's no place for that. For the most part, man, and brothers go through certain things, but for the most part, it's all love in this truth, man. When you come into this thing, the brotherhood is love. If you have a situation at home, you can't make it out to do the work, your spirit ain't into it, you rather do a certain thing, just, always let that be known. You understand what I'm saying? Because the love is here. If you can't come to your brothers for anything, you can't come and talk to them, then it ain't no need to even be a part of a brotherhood or a congregation. If you can't come to your brothers and share your true feelings and share your true stories, man. Me myself, sometimes I have a hard time sharing what I feel, because I'm just so manly, and I figured that I could do everything on my own, but I didn't start doing good in life until I started realizing that I couldn't do everything on my own, right? So and I'm doing good according to the scriptures. I'm not rich. I'm not doing good according to Esau's measurements or whatever. But I'm a king, and I'm a God to these heathens. You understand? And that's through the Most High, and that's His promise, man. I didn't put Psalms 82 and 6 in the Bible, right? So yeah, you have to lean on your brothers in these last days, man. This ain't easy for nobody. Lord knows, going through jobs, losing jobs, just seem like things ain't going right, man. Like, just be truthful, be loving, prefer one another, in these last days and forever, man, because we definitely need each other, man, right? So let's go to the book of, let's get the book of James chapter 5 and verse 7. This is the book of James chapter 5 and verse 7. It says, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Verse 9, where I'm trying to go. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door. So you may hold a grudge, or you may have a little feeling towards a brother. You may have a situation or whatever's going on, but always understand this, that the Most High is the judge. The Most High sees everything that you're thinking, everything that you're feeling, all your indignation, your deceitfulness, your lies, things that you're hiding, things that you, deceptions and things that you really want to do or things that you don't want to do. The Most High sees everything. The Most High also sees the love. He sees the truth, the companionship that you have for brother. The Most High sees all of those things too as well, right? So with that, I'm going to get, let me keep reading. Verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering and affliction and of patience, because the prophets done suffered for the name of the Lord. The prophets done suffered going out here teaching the word. We suffer together. You're supposed to be able to sup with your brother. You're supposed to be able to, to have that trust and that love. You're supposed to feel comfortable. You understand? Being open and being truthful and not causing confusion. Those things are not going to do nothing but tear down the brotherhood, and it's going to tear down the ministry. Make sure that the same thing you say one direction is the same thing you say another direction, so there's no confusion, right? And suffer with your brothers, right? Verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy. So you got to have mercy. You have to be pitiful towards your brother, just like the Most High is pitiful and merciful towards us, man. Everybody going through something right now, but we definitely need each other, right? And we definitely need, for things to be established in a clear and understanding way, in a clear and understanding matter. You understand? Between brothers, It says, verse 12, but this is the main point of this whole chapter. But above all things, my brethren, right? This is James. Swear not, neither by heaven or neither by earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be your yea, and let your nay be your nay, lest ye all fall into condemnation, man. So, hey, look, if this is, you have to let your yea be your yea, let your nay be your nay. Let's not leave any confusion here. Always be open, especially when you're dealing with brothers and sisters in this truth, especially dealing with brothers and sisters that sup with you when you're going through what you're going through. The people that actually care about what's happening with you. The people that sup with you, you need to definitely make sure that you're supping with them, and that you're honest with them, and that you're not leaving anything to chance or leaving anything for speculation, so that it's confusion among the ranks. There's confusion among the sisterhood, definitely, and the brotherhood, right? Let your yea be your yea, let your nay be your nay. Be straightforward, be honest, right? Now I'm going to get this last precept, right? I'm going to get the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 19. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, right? So there's a man that feareth the eyes of men, the whoremonger, right? The liar, the deceiver. You fear the eyes of man. You got brothers in this thing and sisters in this thing that feel as though the Most High doesn't see what's going on. Oh, the Most High doesn't. Oh, he wouldn't understand what's happening. Long as I don't let this certain rank or this certain person see how I'm really feeling, then I can cover what what I really feel. I can cover my errors, man. You know what I mean? Different things that I'm erroring in or suffering or kind of losing in, man. But the Most High see all of these things. That's the person you should be afraid of. That's the person you should definitely want to check in with before you check in with any man on this earth, right? And the same thing that you say to one man, you should be able to say to another man, because we all just men at the end of the day, right? And we all supposed to be able to take whatever a person say in love and take it in peace. And as mighty men of the Lord, and and being kings and princesses in these last days, and since the beginning of the time, through the bloodline and through the promises, we should definitely be doing better with each other, and we should definitely be more honest and being more straight up and being more focused on the goal and working together in these last days, right? It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, right? Now, what are the eyes of the Lord? The angels are the Most High's eyes. The spirits of the angels, they everywhere. They see everything you're doing. They go right back and report to the Most High the minute that you think something, or the minute that you're doing something, the minute that you call or text or say or put whatever you want to put out. You may fool some of these men out here, because we just men. But you ain't never fooled the Most High. The Most High will come down and destroy you, man, in these last days, because not only are you deceiving the men that sup with you, but you're also deceiving or trying to deceive the Most High, because you think he can't see you, right? You think the angels of the Lord ain't snitching and reporting back to the Most High everything that you do. And all of us, even me, everybody, man, we have to pay for these things in these last days. We're gonna be judged for these things, man. But you want to get yourself together, man, because remember, you remove that new man from yourself. I mean, that old man. You done peeled that skin back. You peeled all of that old scab off. That snake skin, that serpent skin, and now you got new skin, right? You got new brotherhood, you got new sisterhood, you got new family, right? Let me finish that off. It says, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts, right? So yeah, hey, the Most High considers all the secret parts, all the things that you try to hide, and all the things that you make known to some and might not be made known to all. Always make sure that you're 100, loving your brothers to the fullest, right? And remember, you can deceive some men some of the time, but you can't deceive the Most High none of the time. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory once again to the Most High God, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Paleo Hebrew is Hamashiach Yahushua. I'm Captain Lamech of the Servants Assembly, and I'm going to say Shalom.
Repenting on a daily basis. You better thank the Most High some of us brothers repented, because we probably be robbing you niggas and checking your